Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here on Spirit of the Raven TV, where we go over all things spiritual, all things goal-oriented, manifestation, synchronicity, and all that fun jazz. So in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to find your spiritual purpose in this lifetime. Welcome. My name is Raven and I am a spiritual development coach that has worked with dozens of people just like you on how to find their spiritual purpose while making an action plan to achieve that purpose. So today we're going to be dropping down into what is purpose, how do we find it, what clues in our life so far have led up to what our purpose might be. So make sure to grab a journal, grab some coffee, grab some tea, because we are diving in today. So for the very first part, we need to define what is purpose, because everyone has a different definition for what it means to live a purposeful life. And what I find is most people come to me looking for their purpose in terms of career. And a big reason for this is because our career is usually where we help people. It's where we spend a lot of our time, and it's where we use most of our gifts, internal gifts. So a lot of people want to find something that can support them in their life, but also give them meaning and give back. So of course your purpose is not just your career. You could have a career that you love, but is just not your purpose. Your purpose could be a hobby. It could be something you volunteer for. So it's going to be really up to you to define what your purpose is. And I would start there. I would journal out, what do I believe purpose means? So that at least tells you what area of life you're trying to figure out and change and evolve into. I want to make sure it's clear that you never have just one purpose, right? Like if you're an artist, let's say, your purpose is not just to create art. And when you're not creating art, you're not purposeful. Because sometimes the universe will have you, go talk to someone on the street, a stranger, and your purpose is in that moment. Your purpose is to help them in that moment. You have kids. Your purpose with your kids is to be a great parent or to really prepare them for the world that you might not have been prepared for, right? So our purpose shifts throughout our lifetime, and it's not just one thing. But for the sake of this video, because I do have so many clients that when they ask me what their purpose is, they want help finding that clarity, they're usually referring to their career. So I am going to be talking mostly about that, but you can apply this into any area of life. So the first step to finding your purpose is going to be to ask yourself, what do you like to do? And that might seem so basic because maybe you already know what you like to do, but you don't know how to use it to help people or to use it to gain monetary success along with it so that you can support yourself and further invest and develop whatever it is that you're trying to do. But in reality, you do have to sit down and say, what am I good at? What do I like to do? Because usually we have the codes inside of us for what we're meant to do. Just like an acorn seed has the blueprint of the oak tree. You have it inside of you. And humans only make moves for two reasons. They're either trying to move towards pleasure, fulfillment, happiness, or they're trying to move away from pain, stagnation, feeling stuck. Usually the universe will use your pleasure, your desires, what motivates you to get you moving in a high vibratory way. It's only when we ignore these impulses and ignore our desires that we start receiving more pain in the area we're not meant to be in. So this allows us to kind of gauge what we're trying to move into. So if you're an artist, if you're a musician, if you are a writer, you don't even have to be creative. You could be in accounting, you could be in, science. It's really what inspires you the most. That's a huge telltale of what you're here to do with your time. So once you realize what it is that you like to do and the things that give you the most happiness, your next step, your next question that you're gonna ask yourself is, how can this benefit other humans? Because often when we find that sweet spot of purpose, it's usually when we find what we like and we overlap it with what the world needs, And then we find that beautiful sweet spot where we can be supported in our work, we can feel fulfillment and meaning in our work. So it's not just about the monetary gains, it's about an actual feeling, and we're doing what we love, right? That is when you feel the most alive. That is when your soul is like, this is what I was born to do. So really asking yourself that question is, how can I help people? And it's not just about a physical product. Let's say again, like you're a writer, you're a poet. Well, maybe you help people process emotions that they don't know how to process alone. Or same with music. Maybe you make music and you help people heal and tap into feelings that they otherwise couldn't tap into by themselves. So sometimes our purpose isn't so black and white of, oh, I solve world hunger, but maybe it is something that individually you help change people's lives. And that's something that will help you, if you journal on it, to really uncover how beautiful the medicine you have inside of you is. This leads me to the next topic is, how comfortable are you with taking chances and making change happen in your life? And this is going to be a big part of how to find your purpose, right? Because once you've identified what it is you like to do, how that benefits other humans, you're now in this energy of, okay, I'm ready to pursue that. When you're going down the path, you are going to be asked to make different changes. So let's say you realize that the job that you have is not your purpose, and you know the job that you want to have. Now you have to pivot your life to be able to do this thing. And of course, we're human. We have to make sure we're taken care of, that we have our bills paid. So you might not be able to just jump ship. You might have to balance two of them at once for a little bit. And this is the part where a lot of people don't take action, because it's scary. It's scary to move your life. It's scary to go into a new direction if it's something you're not used to. And one question, again, to ask yourself is, how comfortable am I with change? And look back on your life. What has happened so far in your life where you were the most scared to make a move and you did anyway, and you're really glad you did? Pondering on how you respond to change really helps you understand who you are. And that's really all purpose is you're figuring out who you are and where that fits into the world around you. And something that's really important to bring up is that you might find yourself having different desires throughout your life. Like you might, at this point, let's keep with the artist or musician. Let's say you find that is what you love and you do that. And maybe a few years go by and you realize that you don't love it anymore. And so does that mean that was never your purpose? No, it means that your purpose has expanded into something else. Because again, we're not just one thing. We're not born and locked into stone as this is what this person was meant to do. You have a right to change your mind at any time. And something I found in my life is when I've trusted every single impulse to move in a different direction when I felt it. And at one point, my purpose was an artist, and I was a tattoo artist for 5 years. Another time, my purpose was to do photography, and I traveled doing photography for a year. I changed my purpose many, many times. And to some people, I've had people even tell me that, you don't stick with things. And that's not the truth. The truth was that I was meant to do that in that season of my life. And it gave me valuable tools for what I'm doing now. Everything that I'm doing now when it comes to my spiritual business, when it comes to showing up online, building courses, working with people one-on-one, I learned all of that throughout the different careers and places that Spirit put me at throughout my life. I learned something valuable from each. Even the jobs that I had, where I learned customer service, or I learned how to book schedules and organize appointments. Each of those taught me something that I use today. So sometimes your purpose isn't just one thing, it's a puzzle, and every single piece, every time you trust yourself to make a move in your life and you trust yourself to go with the direction that feels the best for you in that moment, you gain another piece of your puzzle, and it eventually starts to map out your life. And this is all about self-trust. It's never just one thing. And the beauty of finding your purpose is that the more that you tap into it and you feel good about where you are in life, what you're doing with your life, and you feel inspired and wanting to move forward and open to seeing new things, you that's contagious. You end up inspiring all the people around you. You know, they want to find their purpose. They want to move into that same feeling that you're experiencing. And so it's so crucial that you do find your purpose, because you have no idea who that's going to benefit and in what way. And again, just a reminder is that you have to define your own sense of what it means to be purposeful and fulfilled in life. You know, you have to look at everything you've done so far and what you've actually enjoyed in life and what your spirit is calling you to move into. Then you want to look at how that can overlap with other humans and how you can use it to benefit them. And this way you can either turn that into a career, or you can just become more engaged with the world, with what it is you're doing. And then, of course, remind yourself that you never have just one purpose. Every moment of your life has a purpose in it. And as long as you're always tapping into that and asking, what is my purpose in this moment? You are in alignment with purpose. So trust yourself. You're going to help so many people. And it's absolutely beautiful that you're on this path and that you're searching for the answers. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here on this YouTube channel. So I'm hoping that this video gave you some of the answers you were looking for. Again, it is a lifelong journey, but make sure to journal out those questions and let me know how it goes. Let me know if you start having breakthroughs in your meditation time and reflection with yourself. I would love to hear in the comments. Until next time, happy sign seeking.